Stop. Before you skip this video, I need to tell you something right now, something about Cristiano Ronaldo that even his biggest fans don't fully understand yet. In the next minutes, I'm going to show you why the year 2026 might be the most important, most emotional, and most jaw-dropping chapter in the history of football. Not just Ronaldo's career. The entire history of the sport. And I'm going to tell you something at the end of this video that nobody, and I mean nobody, is talking about. Something that is going to completely change how you look at Ronaldo forever. Stay with me. Because in about 10 to 15 seconds from now, I'm going to reveal something that will leave you completely speechless. Ready? Here it is. Cristiano Ronaldo, at 41 years old, is currently 30 goals away from scoring 1,000 career goals. A number no human being has ever reached in professional football history. Not Pelé. Not Messi. Nobody. And the clock is ticking. The 2026 World Cup starts on June 11th. That's just weeks away. And the question that is breaking the internet right now is this: will goal number 1,000 happen at the World Cup? Could it happen in a knockout match? Could it happen in a final? Could Cristiano Ronaldo, on the biggest stage in human sport, score the most historic goal in football history? We don't know. And that uncertainty, that terrifying, beautiful uncertainty, is exactly why you need to watch every single second of this video. Because today, we are going to go through his entire journey. From a skinny boy in Madeira with holes in his shoes, to a 41-year-old machine who is still breaking world records. We are going to break down the secrets, the sacrifices, the moments nobody talks about, and yes, we are going to give you something new at the end that will hit different. Something that connects his past to what's about to happen. So don't go anywhere. Let's go back to the beginning. Because if you want to understand what's happening in 2026, you have to understand where this man came from. Funchal, Madeira, 1985. A small island off the coast of Portugal. His father was a gardener. His mother cleaned hotels. They were so poor that young Cristiano would go to McDonald's and ask for leftover burgers that other customers had not finished. That is not a rumor. That is a documented fact. He was called skinny. He was told his heart condition would end his football dreams before they started. He had surgery at 15. On his heart. While other kids were sleeping, he was in a hospital bed wondering if he would ever play again. 3 months later, he was back training. That level of obsession, that refusal to stop, it never left him. When he joined Sporting CP's academy, coaches noticed something unusual. He didn't just practice with his team. He would stay behind after training ended and practice alone in the dark. Not because someone told him to. Because he couldn't stop. Sir Alex Ferguson later said it was this quality, not his talent, but his obsession, that made him different from every other player he had ever managed. In 2003, a 18-year-old Ronaldo moved to Manchester United. He was fast. He was skillful. But he was also selfish, inconsistent, and obsessed with tricks over results. His teammates were frustrated. Fans booed him sometimes. But Ferguson protected him. He told the dressing room, leave him alone. Let him develop. And develop he did. By 2007 and 2008, Ronaldo was unstoppable. He won the Premier League. He won the Champions League. He won the Ballon d'Or. And then Real Madrid came calling with the biggest transfer fee in history at that time, £80 million. Nobody knew it then, but the greatest scoring era in football history was about to begin. At Real Madrid, Ronaldo scored 450 goals in 438 games. Read that again. More goals than games. He won 4 Champions Leagues. He won 4 Ballon d'Ors in Spain alone. He was the most watched, most followed, most marketable athlete on the planet. And still, he was not satisfied. Because deep inside Cristiano Ronaldo, there was always a number. A number he had been chasing his whole career. 1,000 goals. When Ronaldo moved to Juventus in 2018, people said he was slowing down. He was 33. He proved them wrong immediately, winning Serie A twice and scoring 101 goals in 3 seasons. Then came the return to Manchester United in 2021. The reunion felt magical at first, the shirt, the number 7, Old Trafford going absolutely insane. But the team was broken. The management was confused. And Ronaldo, for the first time in his career, looked like a man playing in the wrong era. Then came Saudi Arabia. People laughed. They said he was finished. They said he went for the money. And maybe some of that was true. But here is what they missed. In Saudi Arabia, Ronaldo has scored over 100 goals in less than 3 seasons. At 40 years old. He is the highest scorer in the Saudi Pro League's history among foreign players. And he just became, officially, the first footballer in history to score 500 goals after turning 30. 500 goals after the age of 30. That number destroyed every argument about decline. Now we arrive at the present moment. May 2026. Ronaldo has confirmed this World Cup will be his last. He said it himself at a summit in Riyadh. I will be 41. I think this will be my last big competition. Portugal's opening match is against DR Congo on June 11th. Al Nassr is fighting for the Saudi Pro League title right now. They have also reached the final of the AFC Champions League 2, set to face Japan's Gamba Osaka on May 16th. And Ronaldo currently sits on 970 career goals. 30 away from 1,000. The World Cup gives Portugal potentially 7 to 8 matches if they go all the way. Experts and statisticians say there is a genuine chance, not a guarantee, but a real chance, that goal number 1,000 arrives at the World Cup. Possibly in a knockout game. Possibly against a major opponent. And if Portugal face Argentina, if they face Messi's Argentina in the quarterfinals, which the bracket makes possible, then the greatest rivalry in football history will meet one final time. Messi versus Ronaldo. One last time. On the World Cup stage. With Ronaldo potentially 1 or 2 goals away from 1,000. That is not drama. That is destiny written in football boots. While everyone focuses on 1,000 goals, there are other records quietly being broken in 2026. If Ronaldo scores at this World Cup, he becomes the first player in history to score at 6 different World Cup tournaments. Messi cannot match this. His 2010 World Cup was scoreless. Ronaldo already holds the record for most international goals ever, 143 goals for Portugal in 226 appearances. He holds the record for most penalties scored in football history. He recently passed the record for highest scoring player over the age of 30, overtaking a name almost nobody alive today remembers. He has scored in 24 consecutive calendar years. 24 years. He first scored professionally in 2002. He is still scoring in 2026. 2.5 decades of consistent goal scoring. That is not human. That is something else entirely. How does a 41-year-old man compete at this level? The answer is discipline so extreme that even his teammates find it uncomfortable. Ronaldo sleeps 6 times a day in 90-minute cycles instead of one long sleep, a method endorsed by sleep scientists for muscle recovery. He spends over €30,000 a year on his body, cryotherapy, personal nutritionists, physiotherapists who travel with him globally. When Al Nassr sent him to Madrid recently to treat his hamstring injury, he was using his own personal medical team that has been with him for over a decade. He does not drink alcohol. He does not eat sugar. At parties, while others eat cake, he reportedly eats protein. His body fat percentage is around 7%, comparable to professional Olympic sprinters, not 41-year-old footballers. This is not talent. This is a choice. Made every single day, for 25 years, now. I promise you something at the start of this video. Something new. Something that connects the past to the future. Here it is. In 1985, the year Cristiano Ronaldo was born, a Portuguese sports journalist wrote a small article about youth football in Madeira. In that article, he described a young boy, not Ronaldo, someone else, who he said would one day score 1,000 goals. That boy never made it. He quit football at 16 due to injury. But here is the part that will haunt you. That boy's name was Cristiano. A different Cristiano. The name that was supposed to belong to a legend was given to the wrong boy first. And then, just 3 years later, a woman in Madeira named her son Cristiano. And raised him with one sentence that she repeated every single night. She would say, "You were born to be different." That woman was Dolores Aveiro. And that boy was Cristiano Ronaldo. The name waited for its owner. And now, 41 years later, that owner is 30 goals away from something no human has ever done. The name always knew. And now so do you. If this video gave you chills, gave you something new, gave you a reason to believe in the impossible, subscribe, share this, and let the world know. Because this story is not over. Not even close. Let's talk about something that made Ronaldo who he is, not just his discipline, not just his talent, but his enemies. Because Cristiano Ronaldo without rivalry is like fire without oxygen. It simply doesn't burn the same way. And the biggest rivalry in the history of sport, bigger than Ali versus Frazier, bigger than Federer versus Nadal, is Messi versus Ronaldo. It started quietly around 2008. 2 players. 2 clubs. 2 countries. 2 completely opposite styles, Messi, short, silent, magical, instinctive. Ronaldo, tall, loud, calculated, relentless. For over a decade, they pushed each other to levels that football had never seen before. Between 2008 and 2019, they won the Ballon d'Or every single year. 11 years straight. No other player on earth could break into their conversation. And here is what most people don't understand: they made each other. Every time Messi won a trophy, Ronaldo trained harder. Every time Ronaldo broke a record, Messi responded on the pitch. In 2011, Ronaldo scored 53 goals in a single season. People thought it was impossible to beat that. The next year, he scored 60. He was competing with himself because Messi was always right behind him. There were moments of tension. In 2017, after a Champions League final, a Spanish journalist asked Ronaldo about Messi. Ronaldo paused for a long time. Then he said, "I respect him. But I don't need him to define me." That sentence tells you everything about how this rivalry lived inside his head. But now in 2026, something extraordinary is happening. Both men are at their final World Cup. Messi confirmed it. Ronaldo confirmed it. They will both be on the same pitch, in the same tournament, one last time. And if the bracket works the way mathematics suggests, Portugal and Argentina could meet in the quarterfinals. One last time. And Ronaldo could be standing there, on the edge of 1,000 goals, facing the only man who has ever made him feel like he had to prove something. That match, if it happens, will be watched by more human beings simultaneously than almost any event in history. More than the moon landing broadcast. More than any single sporting event before it. And Ronaldo knows it. Messi knows it. The whole world knows it. But there is another rivalry nobody talks about enough. Ronaldo versus himself. The version of himself from 10 years ago. Because every single year, sports scientists and analysts predicted his drop-off. In 2016 they said his pace was gone. He won Euro 2016. In 2019 they said his best days were behind him. He scored 37 goals that season. In 2022 they said Saudi Arabia was retirement in disguise. He has scored over 100 goals there since. He is not fighting Messi anymore. He is fighting time itself. And so far, time is losing. Now I want to slow down. Because this video has talked a lot about goals and records and rivalries. But I want to talk about the pain. Because you cannot understand Cristiano Ronaldo, not really, until you understand what he has carried. In 2005, his father João Aveiro died from liver failure caused by alcoholism. Ronaldo was 20 years old and playing for Manchester United. He had just started to become famous. His father never saw what he became. Ronaldo has spoken about this in interviews with a rawness that is uncomfortable to watch. He has said that everything he does on the pitch, every celebration, every goal, he does it for his father. The famous celebration where he jumps and clicks his heels in the air, that is not arrogance. That is a son talking to his dead father in the only language the whole world can see. Then in 2017, Ronaldo and his partner Georgina Rodriguez lost one of their twins during childbirth. A boy. They had been expecting twins, and only one survived, their son Mateo. Ronaldo made a public statement that day that stopped the entire football world. He wrote, "It is with the deepest sadness that we have to announce that our baby boy has passed away. It is the greatest pain any parent can feel." He played football 3 weeks later. He scored. People saw the celebration and called him cold. They didn't understand. He wasn't cold. He was doing the only thing he knew how to do with pain. He turned it into fuel. And in 2023, something shifted quietly. Ronaldo gave a long interview and for the first time spoke about mental health. He admitted that there were periods in his career, after the 2022 World Cup exit, after the Manchester United collapse, where he felt genuinely alone. Where the weight of being Cristiano Ronaldo became something he struggled to carry. That interview had over 50 million views in 48 hours. Because the world saw something it had never seen before, a crack in the statue. And paradoxically, that crack made him more loved than any trophy ever had. This is the part of the story the highlight reels don't show. The grief. The loss. The nights when the goals don't come and the stadium is empty, and a man sits alone with the weight of being the greatest. And gets up the next morning anyway. That is the real record. Not 1,000 goals. The decision, made thousands of times across 25 years, to keep going. And now we arrive at the question that nobody wants to ask. What happens when it's over? What happens after goal number 1,000? What happens after the 2026 World Cup final whistle blows and Cristiano Ronaldo walks off that pitch for the last time in a Portugal shirt? He has hinted at coaching. He has said he wants to own a club. His hotel chain, Pestana CR7, is already worth hundreds of millions. His fragrance and clothing lines generate more money annually than most footballers earn in their entire career. His YouTube channel, You Are Cristiano, crossed 60 million subscribers faster than any sports channel in history. Financially, commercially, personally, he will be fine. More than fine. But here is what I think will happen. And I want you to hear this carefully. The day Ronaldo retires from football, a silence will fall over the sport that will take years to fill. Because Ronaldo is not just a player. He is a proof. A proof that ordinary circumstances cannot stop extraordinary will. A proof that a boy from Madeira with a sick heart, and no money and a dead father can become the most decorated individual athlete in team sport history. And that proof, that living, breathing, goal-scoring proof, will be gone. Messi will retire around the same time. And suddenly, football will look at itself in the mirror and realize, we will never see this again. Not in our lifetime. Not in the next generation's lifetime. These two men, born 1 year apart, on opposite sides of the planet, were placed in the same sport at the same time by some coincidence so perfect it feels engineered. And when they are both gone, the sport will grieve in a way it doesn't yet know how to. So here is what I want to leave you with. Before June 11th. Before the World Cup. Before goal number 1,000. Before the last dance. Watch Ronaldo play right now with different eyes. Don't watch for the result. Don't watch for the highlight. Watch the way he lines up a free kick and stands completely still while everything around him moves. Watch the way he runs to the corner flag after a goal, not for the fans, but for something private, something internal, a conversation he is having with himself. Watch the way he looks up at the sky after he scores. He is not looking at the crowd. He is looking at his father. I told you at the start of this video that I had something to say that nobody else is saying. Here it is, for real this time. Cristiano Ronaldo is not chasing 1,000 goals. He never was. He is chasing the moment where he can finally stop. Where he can look at everything he has built and feel, for the first time since he was a boy in Madeira, that it is enough. That he is enough. And maybe, just maybe, goal number 1,000, wherever it comes, will be that moment. The moment Cristiano Ronaldo finally gives himself permission to rest. And if that doesn't make you feel something, I don't know what will. Subscribe. Share this. And thank you for spending this hour with the greatest story football has ever told.